Okay, so it seems that there's been a pretty interesting situation whenever it comes to the whole Cinder drama. Now, if you don't know, Cinder obviously has been involved in some drama over the past couple of months. I mean, I don't really have to explain it anymore. If you've been on this channel enough, then you probably know what's going on. But if you don't know what's going on, then I definitely recommend to check some of my previous videos, which will be linked down below, where essentially I talk about the situation at full and what exactly happened whenever all of this stuff went down. And obviously there hasn't been any kind of reply from Cinder at all since the whole apology thing that happened. I mean, yeah, again, this was a pretty big thing that happened. And yeah, so pretty much I came across this tweet from a VTuber or just someone in the community or whatever, essentially saying, we're opening my mod's vcards, and then this is the box topper. Now, as you know, in the last video, we actually talked about the vcard stuff that is going on, and you know, there was a whole thing of people trying to cancel Shy Lily because there was this guy going around who was an editor who was wearing a shirt which was kind of, you know, making a meme out of the fact of the Cinder stuff, and people were trying to call on Gamer Subs for them to kind of remove Shy Lily or whatever, despite her being a partial owner of the company, which I think is kind of crazy. And it just seems like people have this overall hatred for Shy Lily, and just because, I don't know, because she's been calling out the kind of information and stuff that has been going on. And, you know, if them editors or whatever want to make a meme out of a pretty bad situation, I feel like that's totally okay to do. And I talked about this at length in the previous video, but it seems like, yeah, we have even more of this as, you know, this Cinder kind of box topper actually came up, and people were not very happy with this. Now, obviously, yeah, if people were making jokes about this, saying like, this is the new Joker card, everything like that. And, you know, that's mainly due to the fact of the Cinder drama. You know, obviously Gamer Subs aren't going to get rid of Cinder out of the V-card stuff. She hasn't even left Gamer Subs or anything like that. So, again, it makes sense to be in there, sorry. And obviously, as we've seen as well, the banner that was actually featured at TwitchCon at the vcard booth or the Gamer Subs booth, Cinder was not featured on any of the banners either, which some people were annoyed about. But again, we got to remember that, you know, all of this stuff has happened and it's pretty controversial to still be including her after all of this. So again, you know, they've been very actively trying to not promote Cinder and things like that, which is a good move from them. But obviously they're still going to feature in the cards. And we've had a conversation about Cinder merch a while ago, essentially of people, some people like burning their merch straight up, some people destroying it, some people donating it. And as you can see here, this person says here, a lot of people are saying to burn it. And my answer to that is no. That is very disrespectful towards the artist. Yeah, the person is terrible, but the art is beautiful, and the artist has put a lot of effort into drawing it. Burning the artwork is foul and disgusting behavior. Grow up, people, and be better. So yeah, it seems like in this tweet, which has blown up quite heavily, obviously it got 400,000 views, a lot of people were telling them to burn it and telling them to get rid of it. And also, it does seem like it's a pretty pricey one if you do get it at a 10 and get a proper one, but I don't think it is a real card. It's just a box topper. But yeah, people were saying, yeah, you got to burn it, you got to destroy it or whatever, which I think is pretty crazy. And people have been, you know, obviously following up on this. It's got 200,000 views. People saying, don't burn it. Oh, lol, just had it. When will you have children or cousins, you'll tell them the history of how she is known as one of the ones to lose everything and learn not to be a backstabber or something. So this person wants to use it as some kind of like story for their kids to be like, hey, don't do this or else you'll end up becoming like this person, which I think is pretty crazy. But yeah, I think as well, they're saying also she might be a bad person, but the design is still fine as hell. And I definitely do agree. I mean, you know, Cinder's model is very, very, you know, good looking, and it's very appealing to a lot of people. That's one of the main reasons why she's so popular. Obviously, alongside her personality and the content that she's doing, the model did look great. And obviously the original model was made by nanoless, and obviously the art and the artwork made by other artists have been really good too, especially for these cards. So I can understand why a lot of people would still really like a lot of Cinder stuff. You know, it is kind of unfortunate, the fact of, you know, what she did and the kind of past of it, but I still don't think that is, you know, warranting a kind of burning of the cards or destroying it. Now, if you want to do that with your own stuff, sure, go ahead. I mean, you know, no one's stopping you from not doing it, but at the same time, like me personally, I would definitely hold on to it, just due to the fact of, you know, it's just some nice art made by a nice artist, which I can definitely respect this person for actually keeping it and not deciding to get rid of it. And they say, plus burning it doesn't have anything to do with Cinder. You're just wasting time and money you spend burning any Cinder merch. I have and still use my Gamer Subs cup of her, and it's solely because I love the art. Destroying merch / art is a waste. IMO, I have Silver's Cups, and I can't wait to get Limus. They say, when it comes to huge streamers like Bao, Charlie, or Cinder, I enjoy the model, but that's about it. I don't really care. I honestly don't think any of them are actually phenomenal people. They say it's a relic of a Dodfiend time with a historical lesson attached. It's a reminder of what not to do that can transcend time, which is pretty crazy. I mean, imagine, you know, they're writing that in the history books of this VTuber did something bad, and some dude's learning about it at school like 40 years later or something like that. No, obviously that's not going to happen. But like, that's how some people are framing it. They say people just need to stop jumping to the streams. You literally just setting money on fire for no reason. No need for that. Say there is an artist who did nothing wrong, and there are all of the people in the community. They were nice people, positive. They were there with good intentions. I wouldn't burn it. Yeah, again, a lot of people in the comments are actually being very positive here, telling them not to burn it, not to destroy, or not to do anything with it, which I do, yeah, definitely understand. And that is a big kind of factor in that, you know, because it's still a piece of art at the end of the day, made by a very talented artist who, you know, is working with gamer subs and things, and it is just kind of a waste to go ahead and burn it. And, you know, you can think about it as a lesson, you can think about it as just a piece of art or whatever, and I think that's totally okay. But as I said, it's also okay if you do want to get rid of it, you do want to sell it, you do want to, you know, destroy it, whatever you want to do with it. Again, as I said, it's your property, you can do whatever the hell you like with it. But I think that people trying to force them, or not force them, but kind of very heavily coerce them into trying to destroy it, I think that's just totally wrong. And obviously that's not somewhere where we want the community to be going. And I feel like, you know, it is a problem with the communities at the moment. Some of them are acting up, and I feel like it does get pretty bad. I mean, even some of the current Cinder fans are acting up at the moment, which I have a full video which will be coming out about that, because again, that definitely sets a bad precedent for some of the good ones that wants to make the community a better space, especially after all the bad stuff has happened, because there's still a lot of Cinder fans out there, you know, and there's still a lot of people who either struggled to come to terms with what has actually happened, or some that have actually come to terms with what has happened, sorry. And the community is, you know, trying to build themselves back up again on their own, which we've seen with the Discord server, which I talked about a couple of days ago. And yeah, it seems like some people, you know, also, you know, want to just hold on to the fact of Cinder and no, she's a good person, she's still a good person. No, like, let's be real. I think we've well established now what exactly she's done and the terrible things that she's done to her friends and the community. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that you can, you know, that you should necessarily hate the artwork or hate a lot of the previous stuff that has been done, you know, even just like previous streams, you know. I don't think it's bad to think like fondly of some previous streams that have actually happened with Cinder or whatever, because obviously, yeah, it's just like, it's something that happened, it's something that kind of helped you out in life or whatever, if, you know, a stream has that much effect on you. But again, you know, it's totally understandable that some people might still be attached and things like that. And I think that a lot of people have done, you know, a pretty good, you know, point of being like, hey, don't burn this, don't do anything like that. Someone said, eat it. They said, that art is amazing, don't burn it. Someone put a lot of time and effort into that one, which again, is definitely true. And I don't know who the artist is, but, you know, I hope the artist also gets a cut of the card, or gets a cut of some of the money coming in from vcards, because again, if they are, that means you are actively supporting the artist as well, which I think is a really positive thing to take from this, because yeah, there's probably a lot of artists that have been affected by this too. I don't know how often they draw Cinder stuff. Like, I'm sure there's a couple that, you know, drew Cinder quite often that are now maybe out of a job or out of like some kind of you know, inspiration to draw or whatever, which can be pretty hard for an artist. So yeah, I definitely keep supporting them, and, you know, if it was me, I wouldn't burn it. But obviously, it seems like some people are trying to pressure a lot of people into burning some of the merch, which I think is just kind of, you know, dumb. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you guys would have done. Do you think you would have destroyed the card or not? I mean, as I said, I probably wouldn't have, but maybe you think differently. Definitely explain it down in the comments down below. And yeah, go to GameSubs, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. And yeah, you can get yourself your own V card if you really want to, or you can go and get any of the cups and tubs that they have over there. I definitely recommend going over there, giving it a check out. And again, 10% off if you use my code. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.